it really depends what you're looking for and how the job market looks at the time you're considering it.
Try to look for ways in which you can figure out where your interest and your love and your passion really are in terms of learning about the things that you really care about.
Find someone who is in a position that you can envision yourself being in and ask them what sort of degrees they see.
Whatever opportunity is available to you.
There's no right answer. The right answer is do what you're really passionate about, because that's the only way to excel at your work, basically. If you don't know what it is right now, try out things, and then you will basically see what gets you going in the morning.
For leadership positions and moving on in your career and having the ability to move around more easily, it is expected for you to at least have your master's degree to get to those positions. There are always exceptions, but it seems more clear that's the route to go.
You should really focus out like which professors, which field you want to work out. And if you have a very good idea about it, then I feel it's a good idea to just go into a grad school, at least get a master's. And if you really like the research, if you feel very comfortable with that, you will automatically want to get a degree like PhD.
If you think that you might want to have a job and on the research side, then you want to have a PhD in aerospace engineering for sure. It can be stressful. I mean, there's deadlines to meet and there's courses to take and all of that, and you just have to get in that mindset.
If you really do the math behind it, it's hard to justify. But then on the other hand, it's hard to put a price tag on happiness or ending up in the place you really want to be in.
By going into industry, you do get an opportunity to go figure out where you want to focus your PhD. And you also get the relationship so that you have either a job when you come back or you get the company to pay for it. It'd be nice to have a more hybrid approach. I think you need to have a little bit of technical face-to-face activity.
Keep in mind that compared to undergraduate classes, you do have less classes. However, those classes might then be a little bit more work intensive.
Timing really matters. Material is there when it's released, and it's up to you to schedule time for yourself to do it.
Online masters definitely have a huge benefit in terms of flexibility. It's also useful to consider the benefit of finding a master's program that allows you to do some thesis work or research work as part of the master.
But it's very important to decide like what degree you want to, whether you want a professional degree or you are doing your master's degree in an idea that I might one day get a PhD or I like research. If you really want to work in research, it's better to get like hands-on experience, whether if you're doing computational work.
A lot of companies, if they offer it, they will talk about it in their benefits.
It just depended upon when you got in and who you talked to and how they approved it is you just got to kind of push your way through.
Definitely pursue teaching assistantship, research assistantship.
I've never once been asked to pay attention to if it's an MS or MEng. Way more dependent on skill set.
Sometimes you have to go to the smaller, more vendor-oriented companies. Start out there and get your experience base in one of these kind of subcontractor companies.
What are the small businesses that are around? Because it's usually easier to go and talk to them first rather than just, as Carolyn said, going directly to a big company. You should really look out to talk to people in person rather than just blindly applying online. So it's really good if you can find people who are working in different different companies who are not US citizens, because then they can tell you what path you can take, which path that they chose.
Said folks are going to have to be understandable, and they will be understandable.
Don't look at some of the bigger companies, look at some of the smaller companies. Just be creative right now, and we do understand.
So it's not going to be held against you at all. But if you can find ways to make your summer still productive in some way, that just shows great initiative.
I either is fine, but it's really good to understand what kind of value you have, what your value statement is on your, in your program.
If you're equally passionate about, there are also many schools out there that offer a dual degree.
I think the whole thing, no matter if you go back to your grad degree or if you go into industry, it's all about where your passion is and where you find that you have fun, because you're going to be working for a long time. You don't have a ladder anymore. You're not just popping up the rings until you get to the CEO position. It's called a lattice. And, you know, we go sideways, we go backwards, we go completely off grid and find something else to do. And, you know, you kind of pop back in and kind of slowly get your way back into something that, and figure out where your passion is as you go through it. And so that's your career. It's about kind of just enjoying everything you do every day.
If you want to work on it, just ask. If you want to work on that field when you're in grad school, just ask. If you want to find out if you can get your grad degree paid for by work, just ask. It can't hurt. Just always ask for what you want.
Anytime when there is difficult circumstances, there is always something that sort of is the flip side. You can really kind of lean into.
Take your time, find what's right for you, and don't feel pushed in either way even. So if you maybe come from a family where everybody has a PhD and you're just not feeling it, just don't do it. Make sure you own the career you enter and that you be happy with what you're doing. There will be long hours and there will be moments where you doubt yourself, but you got this.
You are not trapped by your decisions. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people feel, especially when they're younger, that whatever you decide right now dictates the entire rest of your life. And I can say with a lot of confidence that just simply is not true, even though it may feel that way. Your degree does not define who you can become in the future. It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to not know it all right now. But as long as you become comfortable with the fact that you are in control of the decisions you make in life, as in, if I don't like this, I should stop doing it, then you will set yourself up for a really nice future.